Hello everyone, my name is Kerlinda. I'm with the Touch of Elegance Florist here in Fort Pierce, Florida. And in this video, I am going to show you how to make a quick, simple, and easy all-white classic standing spray. Here I've already attached my cage with my foam onto my easel. And I've literally just taken a few of these little pipe cleaners, chiffon, and attach one here, here, and here so that it stays connected to the stand. So as it's in transport, it doesn't fall off, fall apart, or anything like that. And here I have also pre-made my bow to go onto my arrangement. So let's get started. So the first thing that I do in order to get started with my standing sprays is I outline it with either, this right here is cat palm. You can use Robolini or jade or anything like that that is your liking. Today I am using cat palm for this arrangement, and pretty much I'm putting my first one up top and my second one down at the bottom in order to get my height, and then I'm going to put one on each side so that my width begins to form on this arrangement. And you want to keep everything kind of symmetrical. So here, now we have these four, and then I'm just going to go in at each corner and put one on each corner so that I kind of have the same design going all the way around, creating a cohesive look all the way around my arrangement. Here on my floor, I do have a bag so that it can catch all of my excess water coming down, and I don't have a big water mess on my floor when I'm done. Okay. So now I have a couple more stems. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to take one and put it right here just to bring this down a little bit, and then put one off to the side here. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Pretty much I'm just going to cut it in half, put it down there, and then I'm going to bring this little piece in. So as I add my other greens into my piece, I kind of have my palm looking like it's flowing all the way through. Next, I'm going to add some leather leaf, and I'm pretty much going to follow the same pattern with my leather leaf as I did with my palm. I'm going to put one up top, one down at the bottom, one on each side, and then I'm going to start filling it all in. Once I fill in, you'll see it all starts to come together. But I don't want to fill in so much that I am not leaving space to stick my floral stems later. Also, when it comes to my leather leaf that I'm putting in here, if you have this leather leaf that I'm using is considered regular leather leaf, so it's not as big with as many breaks in it. Sometimes the leather leaf is a lot bigger. If you have the leather leaf that are bigger, if you're using leather leaf and working with a piece, all you have to do is kind of cut your leather leaf in half where you have a nice break area at, and you will be giving yourself the opportunity to kind of use two pieces. So say like something like this where there's a good break in there, I'll cut it to get this piece, and I'll kind of stick this out a little bit and stick this piece in there just kind of as a background filler piece so that it kind of covers the foam, because you don't want to see the foam whenever you're working on your piece, your finished piece. You don't want to see foam. So I use those little itty bitty pieces to kind of get closer into my foam. Because again, I do want to make sure that I save enough space so when I add my florals into it, my florals are not going to be too cramped or crowded, and they're gonna have enough room to drink out of the foam. One thing that you will notice as I'm putting in my leather leaf pieces as well, as I'm coming down, I'm bringing my pieces forward a little bit, all the way around, because I want to create something that looks kind of 3D. And I am taking a couple of my pieces and I'm sticking them into the back of my arrangement as well, to ensure that as I'm going around, no matter where someone is sitting in the church, they're not being able to see my phone. All right, so again, I am taking some of my pieces and I'm cutting them, and I'm just taking my pinks and I'm making it look 3D so that I can have a fully integrated piece all the way around. So again, no matter where someone is sitting at in the church, or you know, at the graveside, wherever the memorial is being held, no matter where someone is sitting, they won't be able to see all the mechanics. And that's one of the important parts of putting your piece together, is to ensure that all of your mechanics are hidden, so that no one is sitting there dissecting your arrangement while they're sitting down, or you're creating something that's just not appealing to the eye. So as you can see, I've kind of gotten all of this filled in. There's a little space here that you probably can't see, but I can see it, and I'm not caring for it too much. So I just fixed it. And again, I'm going to take a few more pieces here, and I'm just going to tuck them into the back of my arrangement, because I don't want my phone to be exposed in the back. If you're new to our channel and this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. We look forward to creating great content for you. If you are a florist or thinking about becoming a florist, and if there's something that you would like to know, for as much as we can, we will answer your questions for you. For those of you who are thinking about becoming a florist, I will provide any helpful information to you I can. Therefore, you know, it helps you make decisions as far as how you want to structure your business. Because when it comes down to florists and how things are structured, depending on, you know, your target market, there are different ways that you need to consider the foundation of your business looking like. So there we go, guys. I have this all set now. My back has been filled. Now, whenever I make pieces, I like texture. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and add some salal. Salal is also known as lemon leaf. So you can see we have our palms going through. We have our leather leaf in there. And now I'm just going to go in and add a little more texture. Give it some contrast with the salal. This is not mandatory. This is just me and what I like to see in a design. Because no matter how much a person paid for it, I do like to create value. Creating texture with the greens does that without you having to add so many flowers into the arrangement if it's the less expensive arrangement, because your greens is going to texturize everything for you. And for me, I just like the look of it when it's all said and done. Just as I did everything else, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have some peek out a little bit so that we have that 3D effect. All the way around with all of our textures, all of our leaves, all of our stems, everything. Some of it I'm tucking in more than others because I want to create that gradient effect. Just as in nature, you know, not everything grows at the same height, the same pace, all of that. So I really want to try to create that in my piece. My shop does a lot of funeral work, so One thing that I do try to ensure is that our work stands out when it goes to a service, especially when the family calls us directly and asks us for a custom piece. This piece right here is just a simple all white arrangement, as I told you before. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spray this. This is my crystal leaf shine that I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spray this down so that I can get a nice sheen on all of my leaves before I add in my floral. So now that I've added this, my next thing I'm going to do before I add the floral is I'm going to add my bow, because all of my flowers and everything I'm going to build around this bow. My bow is kind of like a focal point for me in this arrangement. And I have long tails and short tails on my bow for this arrangement. Again, this is a simple, inexpensive, but we want to create value in this piece. So it's a simple, inexpensive piece, but it's going to be very nice, elegant, and timeless. So my whole goal is to make sure that my customer is satisfied. So the shorter tails are here. The longer tail just basically elongates this arrangement for me and brings it down past the greens. I'll pull it back a little bit so y'all can see it. You can see how those tails hang down. It gives a nice contrast with the greens. So I'm going to start adding my flowers with my roses. And the first thing I'm doing with my roses is I'm actually picking off all of the protective petals from the outside. And then I'm going in a little bit. My petals that's on the outside like this, I'm just basically giving them a nice little tuck back so that it makes my rose stand out more, and my rose is more open. And you can see it gives a nice little flutters to the petals, and it's going to make it appear to be bigger in this arrangement. See that? And because of the price point of this arrangement, I'm only going to use 6 roses. Now, depending on your rose, some of your roses may be tighter than others, so you may be able to pull more petals back on some than the other. That's quite okay, however that works out for you. The whole goal is to create a beautiful arrangement. This one we're going to take and put it at the bottom. And if you notice, I'm following the same pattern as I did with my greens. Up, down, side to side. And then I'm going to come in the middle and add more florals into the center area. So I'm going ahead and I'm pulling that back. Now, if you're a person who uses a rose trimmer, go right ahead and use your rose trimmer. Me personally, I don't use a rose trimmer. I just like my shears. So that's just personal preference. Now, the way that this head of this rose has already tilted, I'm going to put this one right here, because I like the way that the head tilted, and I think that that's going to be a really good play on creating the illusion of the come over effect that I'm looking for, because the head is already tilted for me. See how really pretty that is? It just, sometimes your roses, your flowers will speak to you as you're designing, and you'll kind of have a vision way ahead of time as to where to put them. by what they're doing, and I like to say how they're playing for you. So this rose here, I'm going to put this rose. I know I had to put one there, but I'm going to put this one right in between here because it's a fuller rose. And I'm going to put it right here in the center, right underneath my bowl to complete my bowl. So that rose is going to go there. And then my last rose is going to go right over here. Now I can pull that back a little bit. And then now that I have all of my roses in, except this one in my hand, of course, but now that I have all of my roses in, all of my other flowers, I am going to insert them around the roses, around the bow. So here, this one will go right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 roses. Then I'm going to next come in with, I have some lilies that we're going to use. And the lily is a bigger flower. Just like a rose, we want to utilize our space right now. So when we come in with our fillers, we know exactly where we want our fillers to complement our main focal flowers that we have in our arrangement. Now with my lilies, if you notice, I'm coming in side to side first because my main thing I want to do is fill in this space in the center first, and then that slid in a bit too far. So I'm going to pull it out and put it into another space. Now one thing, when it comes to adding your lilies or whatnot, any flowers into your foam, whenever you put that flower in that foam, if you have to move it for whatever reason, don't try to put it back into the same spot because that spot will be stretched and it will be loose and it's subject to fall out on you. Now you can see how with this, how just those 4 simple lilies have filled in this arrangement a lot. I'm going to take one and stick it straight in from the bottom. And I'm going to put one here at the top as well. Now these lilies that I'm using, these are oriental lilies. And most of my oriental lilies have about 3 to 5 blooms per stem. And then the next flower I'm going to add in, I'm going to go in between my roses and my lilies, and I'm going to add some stock. And I don't want my stock to stand out too far. I want my stock to be tucked in like really nice, just so that it complements the piece. And for the most part, my stock is going to be complementary to my palms that I have in my arrangement. I decided that I want to add one more lily right here in this space. So that's what I'm going to do to fill that. See how that lily just filled that right on in there? That's what I want. And then I'm going to add again more of the stock. But I'm tucking my stock in because I don't want it sticking out too far. Stock is easy to break, especially when it's in transport. Because it's a line flower, sometimes they don't handle it properly. And of course, you can't expect people to really know how to handle it if they're not a florist. But when it's not handled properly, a lot of times this tip will break off, or sometimes somewhere down the stem it'll break off. And I don't like that look, so I just go ahead and tuck it in some. Therefore, it's already basically hugging into the flower as short as I want it. Now put another piece of spot right here on this side, kind of mirroring the other side. And then I'm going to just add a few stems of mini carnations. Sporadically throughout the piece. Don't forget, guys, if you have not already subscribed to our channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to see all of the arrangements we put up on our channel or the content we put up on our channel in real time, go ahead and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when we upload new videos. I'm going to put one right here in the top. Just so we can see some peeping through. And that's going to be too low. So I add it right here. And the good thing about the mini cards is you see how I separated that? Because there's a few of them on one stem, you can move them and kind of place them where you want. And the final thing I'm going to do with this piece, now if you want to stop this piece here, you can. But the final thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of baby's breath in it. Baby's breath in funeral pieces, I think, depending on the piece, it softens it. Now, not all pieces do I think baby's breath belong in, but sometimes baby's breath takes away from it, in my opinion. And any other pieces I design, I do stand back from it and like take a look and see if there's anything I like to move, anything I like to adjust, add more of, take some off. You know, I critique my own work, so I try to just kind of make sure I'm not doing too much whenever I make an arrangement. What I'm doing here is I'm filling from my phone. So I know you wonder why she keep taking it out, because it's not hitting the phone. And one thing you want to make sure with your flowers is that all of your flowers are on your phone so that they can drink. Especially if you're making your arrangement ahead of time and the service isn't for a day or so, because your flowers will dry out, and by the time it hits the service, your flowers have wilted, especially baby's breath. Sometimes your baby's breath will dry out and it'll turn dark on you. So you definitely want to make sure that it's in the foam, and in the foam far enough for it to drink. I'm only going to add like 1 or 2 more pieces of baby's breath in here. Tuck one down in here above this bowl, like that. And then I'm going to tuck a piece down in here, like that. So that's it, guys. Tell me what you think. Again, like, comment, subscribe. And if there's anything you want to see us make, just let me know. I forgot to tell y'all, look, Now that I've added all of my florals in here, I'm going to give my piece a final spray. Also too, let me tell y'all this. So you see this, there's no antlers in here. Whenever you put your lilies into your arrangement, if they're open, you want to remove your antlers, because the pollen from the antlers fall onto the lilies and it makes them look dirty, or for a person that doesn't know, it makes them look old. You may ask, what is this? This is floral fragrance that I'm using. I like to add a floral fragrance to my arrangement so that it gives them a nice scent whenever they are in the service. Also, I won't put the customer's name pick on here for their privacy, but one of the things that I always do, especially for my funeral pieces, is I add a business card into the piece. That's going to be too low back there, so I'm going to add it like right in here. But I always add a business card into my funeral pieces. That way, if someone sees this piece and they like this piece, they know where it came from. Or if the family wants to order something in the future, this little card right here, y'all, is free advertisement. When I tell you all, I get a lot of business, especially from funeral homes, just by putting my business card, tucking my business card into an arrangement. You would be surprised at how much business you get from that. So there again, thank you all so much for watching. Many blessings to each and every one of you. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if there's anything you want to see on this channel, let us know. Here's another view. This lily is coming open. This is what I'm talking about with the antlers. We're just gonna pull that right out. Tell me what you think, guys.